I'm Jennifer Stockton from T-Mobile, and Chris and I are here today to speak to you about retaining software talent with empowering systems. I've been with T-Mobile for about 4 years now, and I have a lot of passion around recruiting and helping people connect to work that they consider meaningful. I helped to recruit Chris a few years back to T-Mobile, and it's been really cool to build this partnership with him. I have to tell you that when Chris asked me to speak at my first DevOps conference, I got really excited. But as we've been preparing for this presentation for you all, I said to him, you know you're bringing a recruiter to a development conference, and that recruiters are some of their least favorite people. So Chris, are you sure about this?
I am sure about this, Jen. This has been my second or third year within T-Mobile. And I really think that recruitment plays an important role on the things that I've been working on. Those are things like platform engineering, developer experience, and ultimately we're going to retain talent better if we have recruitment on our side. This content is really exciting to me. It's an area that I'm really passionate about. And I really think it fits in with this conference, and maybe we should see more recruiters. So take it away, Jen.
Last year, Chris came to speak with you about T-Mobile's pursuit of becoming a unicorn. And for those of you that don't know, a unicorn is a company that has mastered delivering software at scale. And to attain that unicorn status, T-Mobile knew it needed to change. We put a workforce transformation committee together to drive the changes that we really needed. We had to change because our teams felt a lack of empowerment and engagement. We had increased turnover of our development staff. Our team members were being asked to perform work with limited context and little control over priorities. Our organization stepped back to solve how we could move from this tell and control command culture we found ourselves in and transform to a better culture with improved productivity and a place where people really wanted to stay. We landed on a few solutions for this. We knew we needed to bring development in-house. Our team was over-indexed on consultant level and project management talent, and our development was being done by a contract workforce. As a matter of fact, about 80% of that work was being done outside of T-Mobile. And one big downside to that is when a project ends, the team walks out the door and the knowledge walks with them. And then a new project gets spun up and it becomes this sort of vicious cycle. So what better way to empower our teams than to invest in our own company's technical future and culture by employing these developers ourselves? So if we were going to make this shift, we knew we had to hire a ton of people. So how do you go about doing that? You just do this, right? You just post a bunch of ads. Kind of, if you build it, they will come. Well, it's not really that simple. To hire all these people, we would need to do a few additional things. Our recruiting teams had to scale to meet these hiring demands. We needed to ensure we had the right decisioning process for hiring that talent. And so we knew we needed to transform our interviews. And we also had to work on our onboarding practices. And to that end, we implemented a technical boot camp. T-Mobile invested heavily. Our T-Mobile leadership, our HR team, key development staff got into a room and started to create a system that would speak to developers and also show the value of coming to T-Mobile to be part of this transformation journey. But how do you know you're creating a process that does that? We knew we had to put our best developers into a room so that they could build a product for recruitment. No one speaks to a developer like another developer does. So the team put a lot of energy and focus in looking at other companies that had done or taken this same type of journey. And they built a product that not only could vet our engineers, but would also speak to what T-Mobile had to offer somebody's career. This discovery mission meant we needed to know what development looked like at T-Mobile and what it meant to be proud of what they were working on. But were we proud? We discovered it actually an overwhelming sense of pride. We had this existing development community already where we did our own development and the teams had this ability to showcase what they had built. We had recently embarked on things like a learning day, which gave back time to every team member once a month so that they could kind of choose their own adventure on their learning and their own growth. And then we did things like implement a T-Mobile DevOps day, which were 2-hour segments to transform things like security and deployment. We also had a great inner source and open source organization. So if we could add all of those things to the development component and add in T-Mobile's winning culture to that as well. Seriously, this organization is like working for a sports team without the sports, right? It's not uncommon to see people giving each other high fives in hallways. Well, at least when we were in hallways. Our teams are proud of our organization, and we have great diversity, equity, and inclusion groups that helped connect outside of their teams. So we could put forward a great development community and culture, but we had to bring people to the table, and that meant we needed to transform recruiting. So I mentioned earlier, I'm passionate about people, but I'm also passionate